Deep inside a highly secure government facility, a scientist is violently pulled into the darkness by an unseen, animalistic force. A few miles away, a group of young boys gather in a warm suburban basement. This 10-hour campaign provides the framework for their entire worldview. To them, monsters are tangible threats that can be overcome through party collaboration and a high enough roll of the dice. That fantasy bleeds into reality when young Will Byers rides his bike home in the dark. He encounters a terrifying anomaly in the woods, runs for his very life, and vanishes without a trace. This sudden disappearance strips a core piece out of the Hawkins community. It creates a massive narrative vacuum that the remaining residents are forced to fill. The tension in this story doesn't come from a single, hyper-competent detective piecing the clues together. Instead, the narrative generates incredible suspense by fracturing the investigation across 3 isolated demographic groups, leaving each to walk blindly toward the truth. We start with Chief Jim Hopper. He starts his mornings with coffee, contemplation, and a heavy reliance on institutional logic. Hopper's initial dismissal of the threat is a direct product of his environment. Hawkins is a town so thoroughly insulated from danger that the police department's biggest historical crisis was an owl attacking a woman's hair. When Joyce Byers reports her son missing, Hopper applies his standard investigative framework. He demands tangible evidence and leans on hard statistics, reminding her that 99 times out of 100, a missing kid is with a relative. Even when his deputies find Will's abandoned bicycle discarded near the woods, Hopper rationalizes the discovery. He calculates that Will likely crashed, got scared, and walked away, treating it as a standard runaway case. Hopper is executing his duties precisely by the book, yet his strict adherence to data and procedure completely blinds him to the supernatural reality of the inciting incident. Joyce Byers operates on an entirely different frequency. Stripped of the comfort of bureaucratic logic, she reacts with raw, frantic maternal instinct. She explicitly rejects Hopper's statistics. She ignores the murmurs of the town, refusing to care about social appearances or the idea that her son might just be playing hooky. She knows her boy. Her instinct is violently validated when the phone rings. Instead of a voice, she hears heavy static, animalistic breathing, and then electricity surges through the receiver, burning her face. This paranormal interaction immediately bypasses everything Hopper is looking for. There are no fingerprints to test and no witnesses to interview. To the outside world, Joyce's emotional vulnerability looks like hysteria. In reality, that exact emotional rawness is the specific trait that allows her to make direct contact with the supernatural threat. Finally, we have Mike, Lucas, and Dustin. They have absolutely zero institutional power, and they are explicitly ordered by adults to stay inside. Prevented from using official channels, they use the only framework they have to map out a real-world danger, the lore from their tabletop role-playing game. They co-opt the middle school AV club equipment, using the Heathkit ham radio network to coordinate an unauthorized search party. Sneaking out into a torrential storm, they navigate the dark woods by renaming the streets Mirkwood, debating whether to cast a protection spell to cope with the very real psychological terror of the night. Their search yields an immediate result. Deep in the rain, they don't find Will. They stumble upon a terrified, telekinetic girl wandering in a hospital gown. Their absolute willingness to believe in monsters and their total innocence leads them straight to the physical manifestation of the anomaly. By the time the credits roll on the first episode, the board is set, but the pieces are entirely scattered. This diagram illustrates exactly how isolated the factions are. Hopper is hunting a runaway. Joyce is trying to communicate with electricity. The kids are harboring a superpowered fugitive, and none of them are communicating with one another. This architectural choice drives the viewer's engagement through dramatic irony. This omniscience allows the audience to synthesize a complete picture that remains invisible to the characters, who are each limited by their own demographic silos. The pilot earns its suspense by fracturing the mystery across these divided perspectives. The audience watches from a distance, waiting for the inevitable moment these 3 paths finally collide.